Okay, everybody, Rob here, back with Rock Hard Music, and let's try some music news today, being officially May 17th of 2024, and we'll hit the old Blabbermouth website per usual. As much as I do give them shit, I appreciate that they at least put, updated music news out, even though it's iffy at times with their political bullshit, but nonetheless, they seem to be the most accurate out there. So we got, let's see, no new Slayer albums or tours. That's a good thing. Marty Friedman and his upcoming autobiography, It Became This Monster of a Project. Megadeth, right? Let me be sure. Yeah, Megadeth's former guitarist or whatever. I never heard of this guy until like this year. Much like I'd heard of Jesus Christ, Bruce Dickinson. But some of these guys are just like in the news every week. So either their lives are that busy or Blabbermouth is that desperate to try to find something to print. So there you go. Check out Marty Friedman's autobiography if it interests you. Crown Shift featuring members of Nightwish, Children of Bodom, and Winter Sun. Video of first ever concert. Also, what is with this featuring thing, right? I've seen this more and more over the last couple of years. You didn't see that, right? It was never, Aerosmith featuring Angus Young and shit back in the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. I mean, it's just I don't get the collaborations, but let's check out what this is all about here. Maybe there are some. I mean, I like some fucking Nightwish, right? Okay, so let's see what this one is. Crown Shift, If You Dare, live in Helsinki. And this was the 15th of this month. Sounds like shit, right? Not the band, the recording. Okay, with all seriousness, no being an ass just to be an ass, although I like to be an ass just to be an ass. Everybody says this about every genre of music they don't like, right? Well, how can you tell the difference? It all sounds the same. That can't be more true of two genres, hip-hop and anything speed, thrash, death metal, right? I mean, the singers are all interchangeable, same as hip-hop. The beat and the riffs are all the same as hip-hop. The look is all the same as hip-hop. It just does nothing for me, but there you go. Not a good representation of whichever member was from Nightwish. I don't care enough to find out when it comes to garbage music like that. Let's see. Tim Fucky says, Edema is done picking singers. We're terrible at it. Well, considering I've never heard of Edema, you're terrible at picking every band member. Because you've done nothing worth a shit, apparently. Okay. Hey, nice hat. Striper Oz Fox on his latest brain surgery. How much more is this guy supposed to take? I mean, he has been a trooper, a soldier under command, if you will, through all of this health stuff. He does not deserve this. He is a wonderful human being, a great guitarist. Anyway, he says, I don't expect any problems. So everybody throw up prayer for the Striper guitarist Oz Fox. And of course, the health problems that keep falling on Michael Sweet. I mean, come on, God. This is a band who carries your flag. What are you doing? Okay. Let's see. No new Moonspell album until late 2025 or 2026. Yeah, they'll be around then. Hey, this guy kind of looks like Gene Simmons when he was in Runaway, right? Okay. System of a Down sucks. Richie Kotzen releases music video for new single Cheap Shots. I often have talked about this. I'm going to check this out, see if he sings, because I'm a little done with these guitarists releasing bands with their name if they don't sing. Unless, of course, it's just instrumental stuff. No, see, that's not even him singing. Today, YouTube's been a slow mother today. Really? Who the hell's Paul Guthrie? I apologize for YouTube's shit. There we go. Maybe it is him singing. Okay, so stick to guitar there, Richie. You can't sing. False advertising, right? He's a short-haired gray dude in the video. Come on, Blabbermouth. At least get some modern-day pictures for your articles. Okay. Scott Ian says his comments to Kerry King about Slayer reunion were meant in a light-hearted way. So we got the second coming of ZZ Top meets Mr. Clean having a misunderstanding, and I really don't care. Hey, there's the man, the myth, the legend. Ex-Journey singer Steve Perry signs new record deal. Doesn't rule out solo tour. I miss it terribly. So I would go just to say I was in the presence of the great one. Let's see. Gajara, Mario, the plumber from Donkey Kong, Duplantier releases video for new drum solo. Is anybody other than drum nerds going to care about somebody releasing a drum solo video? That's like the staple for a pee break at a concert, right? Ozzy Osbourne, another one who's in the news all the time. And I certainly wish him well health-wise, but I'm getting tired of hearing about Ozzy. Wants to play one more Black Sabbath show with Bill Ward. I would jump at the chance. Well, Ozzy, you'd crawl at the chance. You ain't jumping anywhere. Okay. Mick Thompson, how Slipknot was formed. Well, it's easy. A bunch of guys who were rejected by every single band they ever auditioned for got together and decided to put masks on to cover their ugly faces so they didn't have to have shame in public after people hear how horrible they are. It about sums it up. Geezer, getting up there in age to start fitting that name, right? Geezer Butler autobiography, Into the Void. Not to be confused with the horrific Ace Frehley song. To be released in trade paperback. What is a trade paperback? Is it one that you don't buy, you just trade people for it? I'll give you a loaf of bread and a carton of eggs for your paperback book. Okay. Kerry King, Slayer is not, I already talked about that. Sebastian releases Freedom music video, and I would have shown this to you. However, I watched part of it, and there's like the first 2 minutes is Eddie Fatboy Trunk in disguise playing some douchebag bitching about people lip syncing. That's right. You think I even got to Sebastian's fucking music after that? No. And no, I shouldn't have to skip it. Sebastian should do a better job, as should Ace Frehley, in picking friends. Eddie Trunk is not that friend. He is a fucking cancer, and I will say it and stick to it. All he does is point out everything negative about bands because he is jealous that he never got to be in one. And before you even say, oh, look who's being negative, you're negative all the time. Yeah, but I'm funny. This guy's just a bitter douchebag. Anyway, I hope the song's good for Sebastian, but I will not watch it. It's not like 10 seconds, man. It's like fucking over a minute of Eddie Trunk running his fucking mouth. Bad choice, Sebastian. Amorphous. Tales from the 10,000 Lakes, or from the 1,000 Lakes. It's kind of like Minnesota, right? You know, every little fucking slough that's in North Dakota here where I'm at, Minnesota fucking slaps a sign on calling it Lake Maple Sugar or Maple this or, you know, whatever. It's fucking Lapland, 10,000 lakes. You drive through Minnesota once. Every fucking lake you see is a pond, right? So these guys are Tales from the 1,000 Lakes. Whatever. I just had to get that in there. No new Creator album until 2026. Again, didn't I say that? Okay. Watch Aerosmith. Steven Tyler joins the Black Crowes for Mamakin performance in London. All right, well, let's give that a shot. See if old Steven's voice is recovering. Okay, so sounds pretty good. I don't like the song, but as far as his vocal performances, the issues he's been having and stuff, that sounds pretty good. Temu, I just ordered some more stuff from there the other day. On new Megadeth music, we're going to start talking about putting some ideas together. That is the most lazy fucking way of saying it'll be a couple years. We're going to talk about starting to put some ideas together. They're not going to start putting ideas together. They're going to talk about the idea of maybe putting some ideas together. Man, oh man. Okay, Pearl Jam sucks. Slipknot sucks. Hey, Bruce Kulick says Kiss's final concert was a missed opportunity to celebrate the band's past. And I agree, and I am appreciating how, as Kiss has shut it down, he feels no obligation, or it seems anymore, to have the bands back. And he's starting to talk about the reality of how things were with the band. And it's very interesting because, you know, this man, one of the nicest men on the planet, is not going to bullshit you. He's not going to lie to you. He's not going to fucking exaggerate. So let's see what he's got to say. In a new interview with Finland's Chaos Zine, former Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick once again confirmed that he wasn't asked to perform at the band's final show and wasn't even, invited to attend the event, which was held last December at New York City's Madison Square Garden. Do you understand the fucking severity of that lack of disrespect? This man carried the fucking band longer than Ace Frehley, Vinnie Vincent, and Mark St. John combined. He was the model fucking employee, kept his mouth shut, played as professional as you could ever fucking ask, and represented the band as a model performer and professional. And you don't even fucking give him a fucking first class ticket in the front row seat to see your last show. This is the thing that pisses me off. I am so done with Paul and Gene utterly disrespecting probably the most crucial decade of their career to keep them alive so this reunion could even fucking happen. I mean, if it was not for Eric Carr and Bruce Kulick, this band would have been fucking dead in the water early 80s. It's just incredible. I mean, from sending Bruce back and forth to 2 different studios to work on albums because Paul and Gene were having bitch fits and wouldn't talk to each other. I mean, the crap that Eric Carr and Bruce Kulick had to put up with between these 2 fucking power-hungry ass-bag egomaniacs. And I love them. You know I love them. See? Anybody on this from Victory Cast? I blast them all, even my heroes. Anyway, let's get to it. I got a sense that it wasn't going to happen for quite a while, Bruce said, as transcribed by Booby Mouth. Because certainly, if there was going to be an invitation, you don't do that the week of. You don't. And that don't even mean, and that doesn't even mean, even if I lived in New York, I don't. And when I would say to Kiss drummer Eric Singer, we always keep in touch, I'd be like, all right, well, I guess I'll see you when I get back. And he'd say like, yeah, I should be home on. And so he didn't hint around. Well, there you go. And there's a shocking thing, too, because by all accounts, Eric Singer is a stand-up dude, too, a little bit moody with the crew and some fans, but he's an ultimate professional and considered to be a good friend of Bruce, and even he was snubbing Bruce on this, it sounds like. They missed a really huge opportunity. I talked about it for quite a bit in January when I finally came out to tell everybody that I'm not in Grand Funk anymore. And here's my take on what happened on that last Kiss show, because I didn't say nothing for about a month or so. And it's not just about me. The late drummer Eric Carr mentioned original Kiss members Ace Frehley and Peter Criss and late Kiss manager Bill Aucoin. Come on. Terrible. They really missed making a better feel-good evening for everyone when it was much closer to the every night before. Basically, it just felt like another concert. And I said that after seeing it myself at the beginning of the End of the Road tour, beginning of the End of the Road, and watching on pay-per-view the last show. It didn't seem like a last show. It just seemed like a normal show. And those who say, well, I saw you up on the screen, they'd be doing that for years where they'd have little things so they didn't feel like it was important. I feel it's a missed opportunity. Basically here, what we have seen here is Eric Carr, a crucial member of the band, Ace and Peter, 2 of the co-founders of the band, legendary manager Bill Aucoin, who stuck his neck out to make this band what it is. No mention, no video montage, no special tribute, no props, no shout-outs. Nobody's asking you to have Ace and Peter on stage. I mean, some were, but could you at least a video package? You know, you made us sit through this garbage Avatar shit at the end of the show. At the beginning of the show, you couldn't have put on a tribute to these members and management instead of that ridiculous Kiss intro that they've been using for 25 years of them walking out from behind the stage, which was a cool idea had it actually been live every night as they're walking towards the fucking stage, right? You couldn't do that. Streaming isn't everywhere now. You could have replaced that pre-recorded garbage with some kind of tribute. So the utter ego of Paul and Gene to decide they should dictate to the fans what is and is not important about the band's legacy. It's either their egos are too fragile to admit that other people helped get them there, or they're so full of themselves now they've completely lost touch with how this happened, and it wasn't just about them. Whatever. Bruce added, I know they really respect everyone I just mentioned, and that's not that they don't. God, he talks weird, doesn't he? I mean, it's tongue-twisting to me. But the fact that they don't understand see, he makes it very hard to read this shit, right? The fact that they didn't understand that that's what you are celebrating, along with, wow, this current band made it through all of this, and look at us with the width. What? Don't tell me to learn how to read either in the comments, because this is ridiculous. And look at us with the multi-million-dollar show. I'm going to cherry pick this article because I think Bruce might have had a few adult beverages before this interview. Or this is a very bad transcription. Okay, let's see. And now you're going to the show, and now they're going to show you the Avatar. I think that was the big part of them dropping the ball and looking at the past. I applaud them in thinking broad and big in the future. Okay, fine. I knew that they would never want to find, let's start a TV show, find the best Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons. I knew they wouldn't want to do that because there's something like you for them to be part of that or judge that. It would be very awkward. But to take them and make them avatars totally made sense to me that they did it. It was an extra ouch for me when all of a sudden I saw some videos the next day of how they ended the concert. I mean, they said good night, we are immortal, and then all of a sudden a lot of smoke and you didn't see anything, and then a screen comes. But you do hear first my guitar playing God Gave Rock and Roll to You. Nice little jab there, Bruce. My big appearance, but God Gave Rock and Roll to You was their choice, was the right song. I'm sure that it was chosen probably in collaboration with the people who were helping make the avatars. Okay, fucking. So what can I say? Missed opportunity. I think they presented the future in a very probably unique and unusual, clever way, because that cleverly is the future, but they kind of ignored the past, which they've been doing, Bruce. I'm sorry. Since they ousted you and Eric the first time for the reunion. At that moment, after that decision was made, they took one big steaming pile of shit on the entire non-makeup era. It is disgusting. It is disrespectful to every fan who became a fan during that period, that them fans don't matter. Them 10, 12 years don't matter. And it's only what Paul and Gene insist matter. It's selfish. It is beyond selfish. I will never forgive Kiss for what they did to that entire era of non-makeup. They're basically trying to rewrite their past and say nothing happened after the 70s until the reunion. It is just despicable to me. So there it is. I can't read. You can check Blabbermouth and read this. This is a long interview, and apparently the way Bruce talks is nothing but tongue twisters for me and whatever. But there you go. I wholeheartedly agree with him. Missed opportunity, lack of respect. Keep going. Everything you want to say, it's probably dead on. Slash to perform on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Why is anybody giving Jimmy Kimmel the fucking time? This guy has hung himself, shot himself, and fucking is standing on the edge of the cliff ready to jump off with his anti-America and fucking woke bullshit. Come on, Slash, you're better than that. I'm not a big Slash fan. I hate Guns N' Roses, but I respect Slash more as a solo performer nowadays. But I wouldn't watch if this was Paul Stanley just because I'm not clicking on Jimmy Kimmel for anything. Not happening. Vince Neil reveals how he repairs for Motley Crue live shows. It's simple. I got a memo on this. I'm not going to go into it. I'll give you the fucking highlights of the, he shows up. Showtime's usually around 7:30. Doors are around 6. So by about 6:30, he arrives, a limo, I believe it said, from the hotel venue, unless there's a hotel attached to the venue, which some do nowadays. Especially like on the stadium tours. And then he hits the all-you-can-eat buffet that is set up in the back and runs upstairs, takes a shower while his assistant orders DoorDash, a few Big Macs, and he's trimmed down. I have to give him shit. That's funny. I really don't care how these guys perform for their show. Each one's got their own fucking way and whatever. Guns N' Roses bassist Duff McKagan talks mental health, love, sobriety, and martial arts. Really? That little scrawny dude's in martial arts? Who'd have thunk it? Okay, Barry Kirch on Shinedown's next album. There are some songs that are in the final stages. Okay. Marilyn Manson appears to have signed a deal with Nuclear Blast Records. Pardon you. Trying to make a comeback, apparently. You got Jim the Anvil Neidhart, right? Kerry King, this guy, he's in everything. Right? And that's the Heart Foundation, right? Jim the Anvil Neidhart or Tank Abbott, right? I don't care. Sebastian Bach, the days of my figure eight headbanging are past me now. I should hope so. Shit, in my 20s when I would do that with live bands and shit, my neck would hurt for like a week afterwards. So being his age, yeah, I would say ixnay on the headbang A. Tim Lambrey's, yeah. Official Led Zeppelin documentary, Becoming Led Zeppelin, acquired for theatrical release by Sony Classics. You know, I'm not a Led Zeppelin fan, but I respect what they've done, who they influenced. I would watch this because I'm curious. The older I get, I want to see how and why this band is such a big deal because I've never got it. So something like that would be a lot less painful on my ears than actually listening to their music. Bruce Dickinson's a piece of shit. Charlie Benante on his original score for John Wick pinball games. I watched the movies and then we just took it and ran. Okay, whatever. Mike Tramp, White Lion, announces summer fall tour. I tell you what, I don't like him personally, but I love White Lion, especially Pride, one of the greatest 80s metal albums ever released. But I will be seeing him at Rocktember at Hinckley, Minnesota in September. And the reason I don't like this guy, not only is he usually singing about politics, granted in his own country, not ours, but he's still just shut up about politics. And he's one of the first to jump out after grunge destroyed all things good about music, and was running his mouth about how stupid they all looked and how cheesy the music was. He completely shit all over what made him who he was, and that rubbed me the wrong way. Even if you feel that way, shut your mouth, because your fans probably, it's a big part of their life, right? They loved it. So what? And plus, you wouldn't have got laid as much as you did if you didn't have that 80s glam look, bud. So just don't bite the hand that feeds you. But other than that, he's been talking a lot lately about how he doesn't perform the songs, and that's a big reason why him and Vito don't do Get White Lion back together, because he sings the songs now as he can sing them. And I appreciate that. You see that a lot with Rob Halford, right? He doesn't omit notes that he can't hit anymore. He simply changes the way it sounds or the way it's done to fit what he can pull off now, unlike Paul Stanley, who would try to hit the notes that he hit 30 years ago and just sound awful doing it. Paul just didn't have that in him to accept his limitations and rework some things. But Mike Tramp is, and I appreciate that. The thing I don't understand, it's one thing to drop octaves or stuff like that. Even Stryper's doing that, right? Tuning down a little bit. But he mentioned, and I have no reference of this yet. I'm going to get reference in September, but of having to play the songs slower. Now, that's a new one to me. I mean, unless you got a lung condition or something where breathing's an issue, I don't know why slowing it down would make it easier for you to sing rather than just tuning it down. But we'll see, because I really, really enjoy, like I said, the first couple White Lion albums. But anyway, we got Las Vegas, Glendale, Arizona, St. Charles, Illinois, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Boardman, Ohio, East Moline, Illinois, the Rocktember Music Fest in Hinckley, Minnesota, where yours truly will be, Chesterfield, Michigan, Cadillac, Michigan, Paw Paw, Michigan, Hobart, Indiana, New Berlin, Illinois, Woodstock, Georgia, St. Petersburg, Florida, Satellite Beach, Florida, Vineland, New Jersey, Teaneck, New Jersey, and Hollywood, California. So if you want to see the voice of White Lion, those are places you can check it out. We got Jim the Anvil, Neidhart, and Tank Abbott's Love Child, Kerry King back up. What is that, 6 articles I've seen now since I've started this video? Okay, I think we're about done. The Pineapple Thief. Do you really expect to make a name for yourself with a band name like the Pineapple? What the hell goes into the conversation? I would love for some of these ridiculous band names to be a fucking fly on the wall to see were they just high? Whatever. Hey man, who stole my pineapple? Oh, it's you. You're the pineapple thief. Hey dude, that would be a good name for the band. And we got Kane here, the newest member of Slipknot. So anyway, there you have it. I got to get my fat ass to work. I will upload this after. And until next time, thanks for watching.